Welcome to the dog pound.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm scared of these damn Pistons. I'm very concerned.
Screaming, cheer it. Yeah, I cry loud, cause I said it got now. We off the leash, and we not coming to peace. This is Detroit, when we step on the court. Be afraid, when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, Jalen, Durant. Pick your boys, they know I'm gonna war when Dana's a song. Be afraid. Yeah, I cry loud, cause you know we got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit, when we step on the car, be afraid. When you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, Jalen, Durant. Pick your boys, they know I'm gonna war when I'm hiding that song. Be afraid. It's the dog pound.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the show. We are glad to have you here. As you guys can see, our GOG, Everything King, is back in the building. King, what's going on, bro?
Man, trying to stay safe. Stormy weather here in Detroit.
Man, this weather is crazy. I'm looking outside, bro. These streets look like they're about to fall over. So hopefully, guys, if you see the screen go dark, y'all already know what happened. Hopefully it don't come to that. Hopefully we can get through this cleanly, but we're gonna do our best. But chat, what's going on? We see you guys in the chat, man. Got a lot to talk about. A lot of things happening right now with the Pistons. Yeah, in chat, we want to hear from you guys as always. You guys know the drill. You know, any questions or comments you want us to get to, repost it, put it in caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do for us to come back to you. Go ahead and do that. So, King, I have a few topics I wanted to get to tonight, bro. But before I get into any of those, is there anything on your mind that you want to address or talk about regarding the current state of the Pistons this offseason as of right now?
Off season right now has been pretty decent. I am getting concerned though because I'm seeing constant names going. The latest one today was Andre Drummond. He just went to the Knicks, who is our enemy. So I'm just wondering, you know, with everything falling stale like it's been over the last 24 hours, what direction are we going? I'm probably sure I got the same question a lot of fans. You see things come out with Kevin Durant, and then it turns around. The latest report says the Pistons are not interested in trading for him. So it's like, where are we going? What are we doing?
For sure, man. We're gonna get to all that stuff as well. We see you guys in the chat, man. We get to as many comments as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and launch our first poll. Today, it was announced, King, that Javonte Green, right? Javonte Green reportedly is returning to the Detroit Pistons. Shams dropped the news this morning. He's returning on a one-year deal for Mr. Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green for $3.95 million. And King, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, but I want to let you guys in on our conversation and just kind of talk about it together. So, King, what was your reaction to the signing of Javonte Savage Woo Green?
My reaction was not the popular one, and mine was why. It's like names that I want: Levert, Javonte Green. It's names that I didn't really want to return. I wanted to get different guys in here. I know everybody loves Woo as a person, but he's a playoff dropper. And when I heard Trey Langdon go to the podium and say, we're trying to get to the next level, which is the Eastern Conference Finals, immediately I thought, hey, last playoffs, you know, we seen Javonte out there over Ron Holland. Ron Holland is, I do not want his minutes messed with. If he's going to be on this team, I don't want nobody playing in front of him. So that's immediately where my mind went. It's nothing personal against Javonte. He was great during the regular season, shot 38% from three, but in the playoffs, the career drop-offs including last playoffs, is significant. So in the playoffs, I better not see him on the floor as much as I did because JB had him and Karis LeVert on the floor a little bit too much, and they were playing bad. And that's what was making, everybody mad, saying, hey, why is Ryan not playing? And these guys are playing terribly. You know what I'm saying? So JB has work to do as far as figuring out his rotation. But for me personally, I mean, it is what it is. It's what, $4 million. You got the same contract Andre Drummond got. I'm not really concerned about the money. I just don't want him in the way for development.
Okay, I think that's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna start with that. It's $4 million. It's in 2026. That's not a lot of money at all, right? And it's for 1 year. It's not a long contract. I do like that he's available. I know we talk, regular season and then playoffs. I do like that he's an Iron Man. He's the only player last year that played all 82. That just tells me that the coaching staff has trust in him. The players on the court have trust in him to make winning plays more times than not when he's on the court. And for me, he plays the way the Pistons want to play as far as defense to offense. He created so many opportunities, scoring opportunities just off his defense, right? Just playing passing lanes. He's got really good timing on that, really good instincts, really good anticipation, stuff like that. And he was just able to generate opportunities. And I think that's important for this team because he plays the way they want to play. And he can shoot the ball, like you mentioned, 38% from three for a team that didn't have a lot of shooters last year. Also, he's friends with Trey Murphy. I know Trey Murphy's not a Piston, but that will be a benefit to having a guy, that he's familiar with on this team as well. And you mentioned Ron Holland, and I agree with that. I agree with what you said. I think it's funny because in the second round against the Cavs this past playoffs, we didn't really see neither of them. We didn't see Javonte or Ron. And for me and you, before that series started, it was almost like, who was it going to be? And it was neither of them, which to me was puzzling because that was kind of what got them there through the regular season, was just playing those guys. So I agree. I hope he doesn't get in Ron's way, but I will say this. I feel like it's in Ron's hands. If Ron can increase that 3-point percentage, I think that's the only thing right now that's keeping him off the floor and keeping Javonte Green on the court more. I think if Ron was shooting 33% from three, 34% from three, I think that alone, because there's nothing really, from my point of view, that Javonte does better than Ron, other than shoot. You can argue he's a vet, he's more seasoned, he doesn't foul, he guards better without fouling. That's some things he does better. But to me, I think Ron being 20 has a higher ceiling, and I think he's already shown that he can be an impact player when he gets consistent minutes. That's my retort to that. What you think?
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about Ron. I feel like Ron he impacts the game enough to where, for instance, I can't, in the same breath, I can't say he has to do this. And he's not at the same level as Asar, but what he impacts coming off the bench against second units, for last season, it was enough. For last season, it was enough to where he should have been able to get on the floor in the playoffs at least, because again, like you said, it was the identity we had that got us there. We got to the playoffs and switched our identity, which was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this season, adding a little bit more to his shooting, of course, that's been, since we drafted him, that's been the conversation.
Yep.
And I actually do believe he can improve, unlike Asar. But yeah, and once he gets that jump shot, at least mediocre, respectable, that changes everything for his game because he's not afraid to attack the basket. He's not afraid to do anything out there, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that helps his game overall. I just don't want his development. I don't want no one in the way of his development. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know what Javonte brings to the locker room and everything else. I get it. Glue guy, fine. But just don't get in the way. And that's up to JB Bickerstaff.
I agree as far as the identity switch. We talked about that in the playoffs. We saw them go to some things we really didn't see much in the regular season at all as far as a rotation. Like we saw a lot more sass in the playoffs. We saw them kind of, leaning more into their offense. And I felt like that was kind of, I won't say it was a desperation move, but it was kind of concerning for me to see them make those kind of roster changes in the playoffs. It told me that it was just, I don't know. It was just strange to me to see that. And I didn't think it was going to work. At least not it wasn't going to be sustainable for me to do that because that's not how they played all year, right? So I agree. As long as once again, though, I think Ron, it's in Ron's hands. I think JB's going to play the best guys. I thought I saw a little bit too much Karis LeVert last year for my liking.
Oh,
Guys
God.
like that, right? I know you felt the same way.
Still a Piston.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Ron's gonna have a big opportunity this year to really grab that backup small forward spot. I heard some people saying he should be a backup power forward. Just he's built to be on the perimeter for right now. He's not. Yeah, he's not strong enough. He's not big enough. He has the ability as a 6'8" forward to be able to guard smaller guards. He's got really quick feet and good lateral movement to be able to stay in front. When you're that tall, you have that Jaden McDaniels type of ability to be that tall, and he's lanky and he can move his feet and stay in front. Like that's what you want. That's what you want from him for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let's see what you guys think. Got a super chat from William McGregor. What's up, bro? Says LeBron or nothing. Happy first, gentlemen. Try not to Jason Pierre-Paul yourself this. Yeah, everybody please be safe this weekend. Everybody please be safe. And y'all have fun. July 4th weekend, we get it, but just make sure you guys are being safe. I appreciate you, William, for sure. I don't think LeBron's coming here. Rich Paul said they've been in contact and reaching out to 27 teams. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons were one of the 3 they didn't call or reach out.
Yeah, he gave his list today. He was on a podcast and they put the list out there. It's only like 4 teams: Miami, Golden State, Cleveland, and Philly, pretty much.
Which to me, Philly don't make sense. I don't think he's going to end his career with some random team that he's never played with. I think that wouldn't be good for his legacy, as everybody else talks about. It's either going to be Cleveland, Golden State, or Miami. The teams he's familiar with, or the team that has a player he wants to play with.
They're saying now that Golden State is in the last place out of the 4
really
right now. Yes, and they're saying that the front runners are Philly and Cleveland.
It makes sense. That's where he played before. So I'm not surprised by that. But yeah, so we'll see as far as the Ron Holland situation with Javonte Green. But I do think that was a good signing. Good depth signing. It's good to have depth on this team. And he showed that he can, when called upon, when needed, step in and help your team. So we'll leave it there on that. Let's see if we got any comments in here talking about it. Karis LaJoseph.
Goodness.
That's something you can appreciate. I know that's your favorite Piston of all time, Corey Joseph, right?
Still on my team, man. Get him out of here, bro. Wasting money.
Oh, man. Let's pivot, guys. Let's go ahead and move. Let's check the poll real quick. So the question was, bringing back Wu was a good move, mid move, or bad move? 0% for bad move, 25% for mid move, 75% for good move. So you guys think it's a good move as well at that price. And I agree. All right, we'll leave it there. King, let's go ahead and pivot, bro. The Pistons, man, have been very busy trying to add more offensive punch to their starting group and get Cade more help, as they should. And the 2 names that we are hearing now that are hot names as of late, obviously Trey Murphy, who you guys know I've wanted since last year, and KD, Kevin Durant, like you touched on earlier. We previously heard the Pistons were being linked to players like Norman Powell, Tyler Hero, Jalen Brown, who are all pretty much off the table at this point. Hero went to the Bucks, Powell went to the Bulls, and JB obviously went to the Sixers in one of the craziest lopsided trades I've ever seen in my life. Might be worse than the Luka trade, if you ask me. But my question, bro, of the 2 current possible targets between Trey Murphy and Kevin Durant, if we're able to get one of those guys, who would you prefer? Or is there somebody else that you have on your radar that you prefer?
I would prefer Trey Murphy, obviously. Who do I think you have a better chance to get is KD.
Okay.
The reason why is because we're familiar with Troy Weaver. He's a draft pick merchant. Him and Joe Dumars over there doing clown work right now. They haven't made any moves. They haven't moved anybody. They haven't did anything over there. And I feel sorry for the fan base over there. It's like if what are we was a NBA team, it's them. You know, so it's but when you look at the situation, the Detroit Pistons, if they wanted to give up the capital, which is 3 first-round picks, they would have did it by now. So I think they're trying to wait around to see if they come down on an offer, but sorry, Trajan, he's not. He's not, man. This is how he is. It would be nice, you know what I'm saying, to offer 2 first-round picks and probably some players or add him into one of the current trades going on, but it's just a tough snag, man, and I think going to get somebody like Kevin Durant might be a little bit easier because they've been having conversations about letting him go over there. Obviously, it's a rental. You know what I'm saying? When you get him, Trey Murphy is somebody you add to your core. So that's the preference. But realistically, I can't. At this moment right now, I just cannot see them letting down on that asking price. It's just tough.
Man, 3 first-round picks, bro. 3 first-round picks. And someone posted earlier on. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. What's up?
No, I was just about to say you got to look at what Orlando did for Desmond Bain. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that was
They
4.
gave the picks, man. Sometimes you just got to do it. And for us, if we're competitive and going for a championship, like you said, you know what I'm saying, in your press conference,
F them
what are
picks.
those picks over the next 3 years? What is that? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Who you finna draft late in the first round that's finna come and impact your team as far as the championship?
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
So just give him the capital, man, and go and get your guy. That's me.
Yeah. My only fear is that that's the same thing that Troy's thinking. Like,
Mhm.
who are y'all gonna get with those guys to make those first-round picks worth it?
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, like, they could, if they wanted them, they could flip them for something else if they wanted to, because from what I'm hearing is that they're not trying to go through the youth movement either. They're
Yeah.
trying to add guys. They're trying to win now too, right? So, yeah, for me, I'm with you, bro. For me, it's definitely Trey Murphy for all the reasons I've already talked about. I'm not going to talk about all that stuff to nauseum tonight. But yeah, for me, it's he just checks out the boxes. Some of them being just the fact that he's got a great contract, and you have control of that contract for the next 3 years. You also have control of John Collins' contract for the next 3 years, with the last 2 being options, like the Duncan Robinson trade. So to me, it just makes sense to get a guy who you can grow with, that you can get multiple cracks at in the playoffs with, who you know what to expect from in the playoffs. With a KD, like I know he wants to play with Cade and all these different things, and that's cool, but they still haven't played together. We haven't seen them play NBA game together. And who knows what happened? Who knows what happens if you're in a game 7 of a playoff series and it's crunch time, it's clutch time? Is KD going to be willing to give Cade Cunningham the basketball to initiate the offense? Or is he going to have the mindset of, I'm a champion, I've been here before, let me go get it done? That could be something that's a problem for me in my mind. I'm not saying Cade always has to have the ball make the play, because that's why we're looking for more help. But I don't want that. I don't want that to be a power struggle at all. I want it to be definitively Cade's team on the court. Cade is leading the team, and of course, having KD on the team make him better, so he'll be better himself. I just wonder about stuff like that. I wonder about the, and I know it's off the court stuff, but I don't want no drama here, bro. I don't want any drama here. I don't want. And I love KD as a player, but let's just say midseason. Let's say we get him now midseason. Asar Thompson's still struggling offensively, and some burner account is trashing his offensive game, and it comes out, and now you got all these issues, because that's what happened in Houston. That's what happened, and you saw when that happened, when it came out, the energy shifted with those guys. Like, it's hard to go back to a locker room. It's kind of like, real quick, it's kind of like, it's not the same thing, but I'm thinking it's kind of like the Jalen Brown situation when he was dangled out there 2 years ago for KD in a trade, and then this year even more so dangled out there for Giannis. It's like you can't come back. I think that's why they moved him. You can't come back from that. How do you look somebody in the eye and expect them to have the same energy for your team when they do that? So it's like, I don't want that kind of energy even potentially coming into a close-knit locker room. And he's 38. So it's like, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's the age more than anything. You know, social media is child's play to me. You know, the people who pay attention to social media is child's play. For me, it's the age. I'm worried about him getting an injury. That's my concern. I don't want him to get here and, you know, tweak something and something dragging along. He's older, man. He's old. He's still one of the best scorers in the league, but he's older. And that's my main concern. You know, as far as him and Kay's relationship, yeah, they didn't play together, but they've known each other for a long time. Being from Texas, Kevin Durant going to school in Texas, that relationship goes back quite a ways. And, you know, I wouldn't mind that at all. But for me, it's just like Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind having a guy in a Kawhi Leonard, but I still question the age. And I would be more concerned of a Kawhi Leonard type of guy, because he's the one that sits out games. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi will sit out on you if you don't want to be there. Yeah, he's younger. He'll sit out on you. But for KD, you know, like I said, I think he has a whole lot more respect for Cade, you know what I'm saying, than some of them dudes over there for the Houston Rockets. You know what I'm saying?
That could be the case.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's like, it's the age, bro. It's just
that could be the case. That's true. That's a good point. I don't know. That just kind of worries me. Just the other stuff is kind of what worries me a little bit. But one more thing on that too, which is why I kind of am leaning more so towards the Trey Murphy. is I don't want to be the team that just goes and gets a new guy every year of that importance.
True.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think about
That's
the
why I
Toronto
said
Raptors.
a core guy versus a rental. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And the guy who's much younger. You think about the Raptors when Kawhi was there before. The fact that he won a championship and then dipped out and they were back in purgatory for years until basically last year, all over again. I don't want us to be in a situation to where every year we're trying to integrate or reintegrate a guy who's so important to our team with everybody else.
Yeah.
To me, with Trey Murphy, you can build with him for the next 3 years. If you do this, even with a Kyrie, if it's 1 year, I don't like the way that looks. I want us to have multiple cracks at it. And I feel like you can have multiple cracks at it if you have continuity, if you got consistency with the same guys. You look at the Knicks. We just talked about it. You look at the Knicks versus Spurs. The Spurs are more talented, in my opinion, than the Knicks. But the experience showed. The fact that New York had guys who played together since Villanova showed late in those games. That's why they won those games. And that's why the Spurs kept shooting themselves in the foot for 5 games. They weren't, passing, hitting guys in the back and going for layups that you shouldn't be going to.
Coaching.
That's true too. So for me, I just want guys who have been through the fire together and know what to expect from each other. And because of their experience, they know what to do in late game situations because they've been together. So I mean, if KD is a last resort, it's still Kevin Durant. I'm not gonna, turn my nose up at it. But between these two guys, to me, it's a no-brainer as to who I want on this team.
And that's where it's at for me. It has to be a last resort type of situation. It's like we've tried with everybody. Nobody wants to come down on prices. We can't find nobody. This is what we got to do for right now, at least.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least show that you're trying, and that's what he's been doing. I know a lot of people would like him to be a little bit more aggressive and go get dudes, but he's trying to be aggressive, and he's doing it his way. So I just got to step back and say, okay, let's give this thing some time. Free agency just opened a couple of days ago.
Right.
July 6th deadline is going to be a very interesting time because I think that's going to be the second apron of free agency that's going to open up some things. You're going to start to see some trades, how they're really structured. There's some things out there that you haven't heard about, you know what I'm saying? So, some of these teams are getting guys that you didn't hear any reports or rumors about whatsoever, and it just boom out of nowhere. So you don't know what's going on.
Right.
We're in the dark right now. But here's my concern. If you don't go and ask somebody for Cade this year, if we have some of the guys on the roster that we have right now, my concern is going to be we need to start figuring out something because I don't want down the line Cade to say, listen, they're not trying to get the guys around me. It's time for me to move on and go somewhere else. I don't want that to come about. I don't want to even get close to it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's going to be here for some years, I don't want to get close to that. So I want you to go and get some legit help for Cade that is a scoring punch that can help him in clutch moments. And, some of the baseline moves that we did right now, we moved the needle up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With the John Collins thing, we brung back Huerter, who we still, the jury's out because we haven't seen him a lot. And then you bring in a rookie that looks like he's going to be pretty good in this league.
Ebuka?
So hopefully hopefully that transforms into something. But for right now, I just feel like it's something in the works behind the scene in the dark. Nobody knows about, nobody can hear. And because with the John Collins things, we didn't get reports for John Collins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It right before it happened, we first got wind of it. So you don't know, you know what I'm saying? They're making calls to everybody. So we just have to wait and see, man.
Yeah. It's what's crazy? Somebody posted this earlier on X and I had to verify it. This is wild. Just thinking about the offer and what they're asking for, because it's probably not 3 picks. It's probably 3 picks and a player or 2 that they're probably asking for as well. I keep hearing the Sar's name. It's like, no way, we're not doing that. No, sorry. Sorry, I just can't do that. And I love Trey Murphy, but if you're gonna commit to these 3 guys, come on, you gotta stick with that. But check this out, bro. As far as these trades that have been made so far, Giannis, he went for 3 firsts in the swap. Jalen Brown went for 2 firsts. Kawhi went for 2 firsts in the swap. LaMelo went for 1 first and 3 swaps. Kessler went for 2 firsts and 2 swaps. Ja went for nothing. Julius Randle went for nothing. And they're asking for 3 for Trey Murphy.
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Clown work, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And y'all know how I feel about Trey Murphy. Y'all know I'm pretty much like, whatever you got to do to get him here within reason. But when the market is being reset and when value of these first round picks are being reset, with a top 5 guy in the league, maybe even top 3 with Giannis when he's healthy, right?
Mhm.
And he's only going for 3 in the swap. It's levels. Just on accolades alone. This dude is a Finals MVP. He's a champion. He's one of 3 guys to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same year. Other 2 guys are Jordan and Akeem Olajuwon, and then Giannis. And he's going for 3 first in the swap.
It's not even that,
come
dude.
on, man.
It's the guys they're saying that's untouchable over there too.
Okay.
It's like they're valuing everybody over there like they're franchise pieces. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. If the Pistons was even to call about Sadiq Bey, I bet you they would say he's not tradable, bro. Everybody's not tradable.
You know what? Yeah.
Everybody is not tradable according to them, bro. Yeah. Your mic went out. Probably pulled your cord or something.
Hold on one second. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. We still here.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on. Keep talking.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying to y'all is it's gonna be tough to pull Trey Murphy away. They don't want to budge, bro. It's Troy Weaver. We know how Troy Weaver is. He wants capital. It's just capital. He wants to draft over and over and over again. That's how he is.
You got
bro.
me?
Yeah, we here.
All right, bet. What I miss?
Yeah, no, I just was saying it's capital, man. They just want capital, bro. And it's Joe Dumars too over there. So we know how this goes, man. Like they're gonna overvalue people over there. They're gonna do you supposed to be trying to get yourself in contention. You haven't did anything over there. Nothing. I haven't even seen your name in a report over there. None. You know what I'm saying? What are you really doing over there? Right now, it just look like y'all in the office throwing paper balls at the wall, man. That's what it looked like y'all doing right now.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But no, I can't. It's hard to disagree with you, bro. And like I said, y'all know how I felt about Trey Murphy, man. It's like, come on, bro. Let's be realistic about this. Unless this is their way of saying they're not moving off him, but just making a ridiculous offer. I don't understand the logic there. Let's get some quick super chats. We'll keep going. Fit with JT. What up, bro? Says F them picks. Let's get our guy. It won't be 3 consecutive picks anyway. That's 3 picks over the course of 6 years. That is correct, because you can't trade multiple first round picks to help protect you from yourself. But yeah, if it's 27, 29, 31, whatever, however that plays out, cool. But even still, that's still too much for me, because I think Trajan is trying to balance the line of let's go win now and let's be competitive for a long time.
That's what he's trying to find a balance to do. That's what it is. Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
He's not trying to be a flash in the pan. He wants to be competitive year after year. Yeah. But due to the circumstances, it's going to be hard to do that because these teams are going all for it. Some of these teams they putting together over here in the East is like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how we going to get past that? We still got guys on this roster like Karis LeVert and them. Like, come on, bro. Like, what we finna be doing, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs? And me, I say it all the time. I look past the regular season. It'd be fun. Mm-hmm. I look past I look at the second season. Season. How is this guy going to show up in the second season? How is this going to play out in the second season? Because, you have playoff risers, you have playoff droppers. And that's very, very important. You need veteran presence. You need guys who show up in those situations, man, because we just witnessed it. We just witnessed the worst Game 7 here in Detroit since LCA's era. You know what I'm saying? That was horrible. That was horrible, bro.
Bro,
it was so bad. It looked suspicious. It was so bad, bro. It's like somebody came in the locker room, said lose, and walked out. That's what it felt like.
Listen,
it was that bad.
I said this tongue in cheek, and y'all know I stay away from the conspiracy stuff. But I said this tongue in cheek earlier today. It felt like somebody came in and was like, who y'all want to lose to this year in the playoffs? The Magic or the Cavs? Pick one.
Bro.
Watching that Cavs game, bro, we didn't lose by 31 all year. We lost by 31 in Game 7 on our home floor. The second largest margin of victory this year was, which is ironic, to the Cavs. We lost by 21 early in the season to them, and then we lose by 30. So it was a bookend. But to lose by a double-digit margin more than the worst loss of the season in Game 7 at home, after winning a huge, did they win Game 6? Yeah, a big Game 6. It was crazy.
Dude,
That was crazy to me.
I'm gonna keep it 100, bro.
Yo,
There's nothing in my right mind tells me different. If Wagner played, I feel like we would have lost that game 7, bro. Just because of how close that situation was.
okay.
They figured out Wagner was able to rotate and move his feet against Cade. I just did not like that matchup whatsoever. And it was because we're so limited offensively, they were able to do that. And that's what I'm trying to avoid this time around. If you're going to do some nonsense like that to Cade, you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? Because we got this guy out here. We got that guy out here.
Right.
We got to get to that point, bro, because I can't sit here and have a fair argument when I'm talking Cade Cunningham and Jalen Brunson or SGA when you look at the way their teams are structured and look at the way Cade's offense is structured.
Right.
He's, handicapped compared to them. That's unfair.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's very unfair. So, like I said, it's a situation where I feel like we have to go out and get another guy because I like the John Collins thing, but he's not the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy that he's an upgrade over Tobias in areas, but he's not the guy you can throw the ball to and say, hey, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
He's not that guy.
Right.
So we got to go and find that guy, man. And Trajan, he got a task, bro.
Yeah. And it's crazy that we even asked Tobias Harris last year to be that guy.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. We shouldn't have asked.
Shouldn't have to. Nope.
He was playing out of position from the standpoint of load.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't supposed to be the number 2. We know JD struggled, and that's why he had to be. John Collins is also not that guy to be your second guy to be like, all right, go get us 20 every. That's just not his game. He can get you 20 on a given night, but he ain't get you 20 every night. So it's just like they're putting complementary players together. They just need another guy that can be the guy we're talking about, and we just don't have him right now. So yeah go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man. I see we got another super chat.
Yeah,
up here.
Which one you want?
And
Which one you want?
Give me a bit with JT.
Okay.
And I just want to say you don't have the unpopular opinion. That's actually the popular opinion. We need that Robin for Cade, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got shooters now. We just added that, but we need that Robin for Cade. Duren was supposed to be that, but he wasn't. We need that Robin for Cade, bro. Somebody got to come in here and be that.
So hear me out.
I'm stronger to you too, JT.
I was telling him, hey, that's body goals right there, bro, for sure. Every time I see I get motivated to go get in the gym after we finish up. My guy, JT for sure. So hear me out on this. I don't know if the Pistons need a de facto. I talked about this last show. A de facto number 2. And I got a lot of old head. Y'all who was here last time, y'all already know what to say. But going back to the Pistons of 2004, I know that was 20 years ago. Who is their de facto number 2?
Rip.
They didn't really have one. Rip was the leading scorer. But after that, it could have been Chauncey. It could have been Rip. It could have been Tayshaun. And that's what made them so hard to guard. I think on this team, we know JD is not ready yet at 22 to be that number 2. We understand that. On this team, you can have your Cade and Chauncey and Cade, right, as the head of the snake. But then you can have, I think Jalen Duren, let's just say 40% of the season can be a number 2. I think Trey Murphy, 30% of the season can be a number 2. I think John Collins, 20% of the season can be a number 2. I think Asar Thompson and Danish Jenkins combined can be a number 2 10% of the time. I don't think it has to be, this is the number 1, this is the number 2 every single night, because that makes you more predictable. If that number 2 don't show up, then what? So to me, it's just like, it'd be nice to have it. I get what everybody's saying, but I don't think you need to have, that's the number 1, that's the number 2, that's the number 3. To me, I don't feel like they need that if they play defense the way they play it. Thoughts on that? Go ahead.
It's for me, I get where you're going. But for me, the argument is not valid anymore today because those Pistons back then were able to play defense and hold people to 75 points.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have the scoring. And it's kind of like the argument that we had earlier. It's like to compensate for our mishaps offensively and not being able to score, we look for guys to do more on defense that we shouldn't have to look at. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, at least some type of scoring punch. If like you're right with Jalen Duren. For parts of the season, he's going to be an all-star looking type of guy.
Mhm.
But if we can find some consistency with somebody, and it don't necessarily have to be a star. It's just another scoring punch that can go get his own bucket. You know what I'm saying? It's just that type of player. Because even Rip was a guy that was getting set up most of the time. Rip running around 800 miles a game,
running 5 miles a
hard
game.
on. Yeah, it's about making it hard on the other defense. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to do that, and we don't have that. We don't know how to make it hard on another defense because the only thing we can do is pick and roll.
Right.
And that ain't working because once you crowd the paint, it takes everything away.
Right. But if you add a John Collins as a shooter, you add a Trey Murphy as a shooter and who can create, now you got that. You know what I'm saying?
Trey Murphy changes everything. He's the type of guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's the other threat because Trey Murphy can damn near pull up from half court.
He can.
So you cannot leave him. Yeah, you cannot leave him.
Yeah.
He's the guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if we go and get that type of guy, that opens everything up. And especially for guys like Asar. Who I think a lot of people, we say Asar becomes a different player if the Pistons can space and open up that floor.
Yes.
Because he has room to roam around, cut to the basket, back doors. Everything is open.
There's space. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I felt like too often when we were in that pick and roll, they took it away because they didn't respect Tobias Harris in that corner the way they will respect a John Collins. Tobias Harris shot 34% from 3. Collins shot 40. 40. They're not leaving him. They may leave him once. But after that, JD's going to have a lot more room coming out of that. You said what?
And if you look at some of his corner numbers, 44%.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So they ain't leaving that dude. So, yeah, I think collectively, if they were to add that guy, right, I think that would get them over that hump for sure. So you just got to wait and see, man. But I just don't feel like they need that de facto where you know it's going to be 20 from him, 20 from him, 20 from him. Like the Miami Heat teams that have my goat on them. But the big three type of stuff, like I don't feel like that makes you more predictable in my eyes. It's like you just get guys who are capable of, you might have, two threes. If you got 3 threes in your starting lineup, one of them can be a 2 this night, another one could be a 2 that night, another, you know what I'm saying? It could be a 2 that night. So just having that balance, you don't know where it's coming from defensively tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if one of your leading guys has an off night, you ain't got to worry about, it might be a wrap. He off tonight. You know what I'm saying? You got guys, you need me? Number 2? I got you. Let's get it. So that kind of thing, that flexibility, I think will be important. Go ahead.
Deuce, pull up the comment from Mike. Scroll up a little bit, pull up from Mike.
Mike. Okay. I got you down too. We see y'all super chats. We coming back to y'all. Mike, right here. I got you. King, what draft capital would you give up? What up, Mike? Would you give up 3 1s and Ron? Go ahead.
Yes.
I'll give you my thoughts, but you go first.
I would. And for the right player, I would. For the right player, I would. Because like I say, you're giving up a 3 every other year. I mean, giving up a first every other year. I'm fine with that. The reason why I don't value first round picks as much, because if these guys are not working out that you consider your core, you can dangle guys out there and go and get capital back at any time. You just watch teams do it over and over in this free agency, go and get capital back like Boston. You can go and get capital back. So for me, losing capital in the future is not my concern whatsoever, because if you're not working out, then somebody got to move, and I'm going to move somebody and get that capital that I need. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about the capital. Go and get the guy.
If Troy's asking, let's just put ourselves in there, right? If Troy's asking or Jody's asking for 3 1s and Ron, I don't know if I can do that, bro.
I'm doing it.
I don't know, man.
You know why?
Ron is,
because, like I said, I love Ron, bro.
Man.
I really do. But for Trey Murphy and what he does for your team versus we don't even know if JB is going to give Ron a lot of minutes. I'm doing it, bro. I'm doing it. You just went and got Ebuka too. I'm doing it, bro. Because, like I said, I'll give you 3 firsts, Ron and Karis LeVert. Boom. Give me Trey Murphy.
I do that. I don't know if I can give up Ron, but I do that. I would do that. I think Trey Murphy comes here and he becomes an all-star first season.
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys.
Three sounds like a lot, but like I said, Bane just went for 4 over there in Orlando,
and Mikal went for 5. And I understand the value on draft picks has gone up. I understand it, but I don't know, man. For Trey Murphy, I feel like you have Trey Murphy's one of the few guys in the league, bro, who could walk into All-Star Weekend and walk out with both the 3-point contest trophy and a slam dunk trophy.
Yep.
Athletic. How many guys in the league can you say that about? That's how versatile he is, bro. He's 6'8", 6'9", and has Steph Curry vibes to him. I'm not saying he's Steph.
In the right system, he's an absolute problem. He's an all-star.
Beast.
Because he doesn't have a Cade Cunningham over there, guard. You know, this is a whole different situation over here. You didn't have a KD and a JD and a Cade Cunningham over there.
Yeah,
y'all were forward heavy over there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this situation makes it a whole lot different.
Mm-hmm. And when Murray came back because he was injured for them, Trey went to another level, bro. Because he had a point guard. He had a point guard that could help get things organized and help get him in the spots. So yeah, if it's Karras and 3-1s, I'm doing it, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
even though
it's an MVP level type of guard and an all-star big, and you put a Trey Murphy in there, and you have a John Collins, and you have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Right.
That starting lineup right there to give it to me.
Yeah, I feel like that team goes to the conference finals.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like this right here, I posted it before, but this right here, guys, this team with this starting five and the bench we have, if we can keep it intact, if we do get Trey, this team goes to conference finals in beyond, in my opinion.
You know
it's a very balanced squad on both sides of the ball. Still ways to go. JD still got to improve defensively and all these different things, right? We get it. Like, sorry, got to improve. Like, and even the other guys, Case still can improve with his turnovers, and Trey can improve with getting a little bit bigger and stronger, and all these guys, right? But I think over the next 3 years, if you can keep those five together and keep some of your depth, yeah, you're gonna have cracks at it to be able to contend for multiple seasons because you got them on lock for the next 3-4 years.
You have to make that type of move, bro, because it separates you from the rest. Yeah, you have a top-heavy Philly, a top-heavy Miami that's incomplete right now.
Exactly.
You know, top-heavy teams. You have depth already. You already got depth. So you got guys that you need to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? So you will have depth. Your bench, you got Isaiah Joe, Duncan Robinson. Your rookie probably gonna be rookieing, bro. I honestly believe that. You know what I'm saying? So you have depth already.
Dennis and Wu and Brown.
Do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Do it.
Yeah. I'm with you, dog. I'm with you, man. Let's get some more super chats and we'll keep going. Dom, want to come to Dom? What up, bro? Dom says, everybody, they mama and they bald-headed granny got a report so far this all season.
True, man.
True. It's tiring. But I also believe something else happening because we got way too many players, especially guard. Yes, we have 8 guards on this team. Count them up. We talked about this last show. We have 8 guards, including the starters. Let's just run through them real quick if I can off the top of my head. We got Cade, we got Duncan, we got Danis Jenkins, we got Kevin Huerter, we got Caris LeVert. Who am I missing?
Isaiah Joe. Ebuka Okorie.
Chaz Lanier. So that's 8 right there. And we had 9 before we moved Sasser. So it's just like that's why I'm not tripping, because I know we're not gonna go into the season with 8 guards.
Yeah.
We're just not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. So it's just a matter of what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. We got bullets in the chamber right now.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's keep these super chats coming. Appreciate you, Dom. Truth Teller says, everyone keeps blaming Duren, but the biggest issue for the offense is Asar. Why does he get a pass? This is not 2004. You can't play 4-on-5 on offense and expect to go further on the offense.
It's not Asar's fault. It's not Asar's fault. If you understand how basketball works, it's the way that the offense was structured. Mm-hmm. The reason why his brother flourishes over there is because they're able to space the floor out for him over there. So he's able to move around and be free. It's easy to cut Asar out because you only got one real option to worry about offensively, and that's Cade. It's easy to put somebody to stick on Duncan and make sure he can't even get a shot. You know what I'm saying? So when you in that situation, it makes it a whole lot easier for guys to operate when you bring in the right pieces around him. Right. And he should never have to bring up the basketball. It should be another person on this team that could bring it up the floor. He shouldn't have to be in that situation.
I don't mind him at times. I don't mind him at times. Like if
It-
it's a
it was
heavy
get-
dose,
At
I'm
first,
straight.
it was fine. It
Get
was
it past
getting
half
bad.
court, cool.
It was
Because
it was
he
getting
did.
bad last season, though, bro.
If you think about it, though, he improved a lot from 2 years ago when we won 44 to last year. It was so many times we would see him just bouncing the ball off his foot, bouncing up to his armpit. He'd be on the break, moving too fast. We would just say, bro, slow down. We say that all the time. He'd get to the rim and just bobble it. That wouldn't happen as much last year. So I'm seeing improvement. So I wouldn't mind bringing up, get it past half court, give Kate a quick blow, let Kate take a playoff. I'm cool with that. As long as it's not too much on his plate. Go ahead.
Him and Duren, keep your hands off the
Now,
ball, man.
now JD, every time he would try to start a break and board and push and grab and go, I'm like, it's a turnover in the making, bro. He tried to go behind his. We saw him try to cross over Wendell Carter, and he just sat on the cross and just, you know what I'm saying? And just took it. It's just like, no, bro. I know you can do that. I know you got skills, but we want to make sure we're as efficient as possible. And you being able to do stuff sometimes means you're going to turn it over sometimes. And we don't need you. Go find your point guard, bro. You know, so JD, I'm with you. Assam, I feel you on that, but go ahead, get in there.
Coffee's comment. Pull that, because that's exactly where I got that from.
Okay. Coffee, where you at? Here we go. All right.
Because they was able to, they stretched it out. They were breathing a little bit more. And you know, Reed is not a guy that's just gonna sit around. He's moving around, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even though I talk about how ugly the form is, he'll go out to the 3-point line, bro, and shoot a three. You know what I'm saying?
For anybody listening to the audio version of this stream, the comment from Coffee says, King is exactly right. The offense looked great with Reed, Stewart, Cade, Asar, and Duncan while Duren was out hurt. Continue.
Yeah, it's just the spacing. You gotta create the environment for him. You know what I'm saying? This with him, he's not a guy that's a jump shot guy. He has to be able to flow through those lanes and cut to the basket. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see Asar get too many opportunities to cut to the basket and somebody drop him a pass and he can go up for a dunk. You didn't see that like you were seeing it. I don't like bringing this up. When Monty Williams was here. You know what I'm saying? You seen it then.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, okay, this is fine. You know what I'm saying? He can find ways to impact the game offensively, even though he can't shoot worth nothing. Well, that guy took away last season. I didn't, and part of it, I got to go with JB and the staff. They got to bring a better offense. You know what I'm saying? They got to do a better offensive game plan than what they did, bro, because they were so predictable and vague and plain. You know what I'm saying? You got to mix it up, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to coach that up if you're in that situation. Going into this season, most likely a different roster. It should be better for Asar.
Yeah, exactly. And to be clear, on the KD point, just backtracking a little bit, it was the basketball part I wouldn't be worried about if he were to come here, because you just mentioned how Amen had the benefit of having said Kevin Durant. So for me, it ain't the basketball. He would help Asar probably as much as anybody if he came here, to your point. For me, it's just the other stuff. But I can get with that. I agree. I think Asar just needs to be put in position to be at his best, at what he's best at, instead of trying to force him to be good at things that he's not and trying to rush that process. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Yeah, we'll leave it there on that one. Good comment. Let's go to a few more, and then we'll go to another topic. Fit from JT says, he comes back and says, and to piggyback off Deuce, I agree. It's about keeping defenses guessing. Not necessarily a number two. Yes. Another scoring option to confuse opponents. And I hate to keep going back to it, bro, but the Pistons win the same way. I don't care what era it is. I know it's a new day, yada yada. Okay, cool. We don't hold them to 75. Hold them to 100. Hold them to 100 in this day and age while you're scoring 110. You know what I'm saying? It's more possessions in today's game. The game is faster. That's why guys get hurt more. All these stuff. But relatively speaking, if you can be that defensive team, I'm not saying you got to be that team that's holding teams under 70 points for like 10 games in a row, but relatively speaking, just be that team that you're known around the league for being that. So if your offense can move in this kind of situation and you got these kind of guys around, if your defense is what you're leading with, if everybody is committing, if everybody has the two-way capability, which means they can just guard, they don't have to be clampers, but they can stay in front, you know, and you don't have to send help every single time. You're not getting hunted out. If you got that kind of defensive play and you got these guys offensively, like we saw the Pistons confused, like he says, the Lakers didn't know what to do against the Pistons. They didn't know where it's coming from. We didn't know who was going to MVP the finals. Was it Chauncey, Ben, Rip, Tayshaun for the way he guarded Kobe? Like, we didn't know. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I think they could go back to and be successful with. Because JB and Trajan have said they want to be that team. They've said that. They said they want to get back to being that kind of squad. So they're building it that way. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I kind of feel like, yeah, I get it. I get the point. But for me, the difference is I don't think people really realize how impactful Rip was. Rip was a number 2. He was a number 2. You don't have to be a star to be a number 2. You know what I'm saying?
You call him number 2? I feel like he's number 1 because he was leading. He was leading that team for years.
He was leading offensively, but Chauncey was the leader of that.
He was head of the snake.
Bro. Yeah, he set up Rip for all of those points. You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't you see K being Chauncey and Trey being Rip?
Well, see, that's
Trey being the leading scorer
that I made earlier. So
okay. So
it doesn't have to be a star, but you have to have a number 2. You know what I'm saying? Because it's.
I see what you're saying.
The way that the game is structured today is different, bro. It's just so different because the teams that did beat the Pistons back then, we won a championship that one year, but the teams that beat the Pistons, like the Spurs, and those guys were able to open that floor up. You know what I'm saying? They had Timmy Duncan in them who can shoot mid-rangers and open and space things up and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be really, really good defensively. But in this league, I just don't trust that strategy. You got to be able to put some points on the board too.
Yeah.
And we got to get that, bro. We just have to get that because we got guys, you know what I'm saying? These refs out here they reffing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know how this goes. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry. In response to JD, that's hilarious. Trying to be like Escalade, Mike Jackson's brother. Big dude. Rest in peace. That's hilarious. Shout out to N1 and Escalade. Go ahead, bro. I ain't even throw you on.
Yeah, man. This thing with and let's talk about that real quick. This thing with JD,
go ahead,
bro.
Get into it.
They talking about, JD, and then they still far apart with what they're demanding. At some point, you got to surrender, bro. You know what I'm saying? His agents, all of his other clients got lower than what they wanted, bro.
Carson.
Yes. He wanted $100 million. They gave him 83, bro. Like this.
That's like $12 million a year for 5 years. Yeah.
At this point, you're becoming a bad teammate, man. You know what I'm saying? You hold your team back from making moves, man. You're becoming a bad teammate at this point. Yeah. Because for you, it's just about money. You ain't Cade.
Go ahead.
You're not Cade, Duren. I'm not giving you nowhere near what Cade got.
That's where I'm at.
Stop it.
That's where I'm at too.
Stop it, man.
That's where I'm at too. I don't feel like anybody on this team should be paid more than Cade Cunningham.
No.
Unless they're better than Cade Cunningham, who's going to be that guy? So
MVP level, third team All NBA. Hell no. No. And you should have made third team. After that garbage that we saw.
Yeah. And I mentioned this before, guys, not to circle back too far again, but I'm just glad that for the sake of for this team, because I want JD to get paid. I like JD, right? I thought he played great last year for a 22-year-old. But everybody in Pistons Nation would have been losing their mind if Trajan gave JD the max extension mid-season. And then he had the drop-off he had in the playoffs. Everybody would be at his neck right now. Why we give him all this money? We should have just waited. The same people who were saying he need to be aggressive and stop evaluating.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying evaluation. And this is why he said that. Because if he wouldn't have done that, he wouldn't have known what these guys can do in playoff situations. If he'd have did it prematurely and gave in, everybody would be upset at JD's bloated contract now because he showed he's not a playoff performer and he's getting his max extension. The fact that he waited shows that he's not gonna he's probably gonna do the same thing with us next year. Like he's going, okay, show me. He did it with JI, he's doing it with JD. SR's probably gonna be next. He's like, go get it, go earn it, and then I'll take care of you.
You're not gonna be, like I said, first of all, I say it all the time, Spurs mentality, bro. That's what Trajan has. You got to earn your money, bro. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You ain't Wemby. So, and like I said, when you look at JD, it's like, bro, okay, I get it. You want to get paid. You're a millionaire. You're already a millionaire from dribbling a basketball. Okay, you want your money. But, bro, you have playoff risers and playoff droppers. Right now, you look like a dropper. I'm not giving you that money. I'm sorry, bro. You have to earn that money, bro. I don't understand what you don't understand, and you and your people don't understand about that, bro. Like, take the doggone money. You're not getting nothing. Nobody else is offering you. Nobody has the money but Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Nobody else has the money. They're not coming to offer you anything. Stop dragging this out, bro.
And honestly, how many 22-year-olds get max extensions, bro? Like, he's 22, man. He's still got two or three major contracts in his future. Knock on wood, he stays healthy. This is great for a
You're a rim runner. You're a pick and roll guy making this type of money. You don't stretch the floor. You don't lead the league in blocks.
Yeah.
What am I paying you all this money for?
Yeah. And by God, this is no shade to JD. I'm a big JD fan. King is a big JD fan. But when it comes to this, it is what it is, man.
It's business.
It is what it is. It is right.
It's business, bro. I don't care about all-star games, though. I say all the time, the fan events. I don't care about the fan event. What can you do in the second season, bro?
Yeah. It's true. That's true. So I agree with you, bro. Let's go to some more super chats, man. Y'all are coming through. We appreciate y'all, man. We'll go to some more topics. What up, Mouser? Mouser says, my thing with the SAR is he wide? Is if he's wide open from 15 feet, just take the shot. I don't care if he misses. The panic he shows every time is a bad look. I understand that too. But once again, I think you're right. It was too many times. To me, it's roster construction. It was too many times when the Pistons had an advantage, when K would get downhill or whatever, swing, help, swing. It would come back to him with like 4 or 5 seconds to go when he's trying to make something happen one-on-one, and it's just not a good look. If he just needs to have some semblance of offense, something he can just go to. We see him, driving and getting to the nail or getting to the free throw line and hitting a little midi. I like that. That. Just have 1 or 2 things you can just go to. Miss or make. Just don't look like you're indecisive out there. And once again, having the same guys around will help with that. So you're right, Mouser. He has to grow offensively. But I think a lot of it is what you're saying, and a lot of it is what King's saying too, as far as just having the right guys to help a guy who's still growing offensively be able to be successful. So I agree. Yeah, good point, Mouser.
And I agree with Mr. Pierce in the comments, man. Dunk on somebody every once in a while and stop getting dunked on.
Yeah. Let me see where Pierce at. Oh, dunk on. Yeah. Play angry.
Play angry, bro.
Yeah. For sure. Mr. Ray says $35 million for JD. I think that's what's being offered. So we'll see, man. Hopefully it don't take 34. Too much longer.
34.
I just hope this isn't holding up any other potential moves, because you got to get that one out the way to know what you can do after that. That's the frustrating part for me. So I ain't saying he got to be Tom Brady and take a huge pay cut so guys can stay. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Let's meet halfway. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So we'll leave it there, man. Let's go to the Bang the Game. Says, what do you think about Rui? Nope, I am good on Rui, bro.
He is
the Bang the Game. Appreciate you, super chat, bro. I'm good on Rui. I'm a Lakers fan.
Overrated.
I'm a Lakers fan, so I watched more Rui than I probably should have, because I like LeBron. Obviously, I ain't gonna watch him no more if he's still a Laker. But Rui is a really good shooter.
Yeah.
Period. I think he has the highest playoff 3-point percentage ever at like 45% on enough attempts, right? But
that's where it stops.
That's where it stops.
He's a big dunker.
I don't want. We're gonna get to that later. Exactly, bro. 100%. We're gonna get to that later. But yeah, I want two-way guys. I want guys, once again, that have two-way capability. You gotta be a clamper, but just be like, I don't need help. I got him. He may get me a couple times, but he ain't hunting me. I got him. With Rui, you don't have that. He's not a guy who's a great perimeter defender. He's not good in the paint. He doesn't play bigger than he is. He's kind of soft to me in the paint. He's a good shooter. He'll knock down some shots for you for sure. But we just got a guy in John Collins at the 4 who I would rather have, who can shoot not 45% from 3, but 40% from 3. And he gives you all the other stuff. He gives you the rebounding. He's got a little post game to him. He can defend the rim. He's athletic. He plays bigger than he is. So Rui, I'm straight. Thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you say. I just think he's, I don't know, man. Like I said, if we just need to add a guy that can shoot, you know what I'm saying? Fine, I will do that. Mm-hmm. But for my forward position, I need a little bit more than just shooting. You know, so I need you to be able to do other things out there. Right. Yeah, it's not the time. He's not the guy right now that I'm looking for. He's not. Yeah. Okay. Few more and then we move it on. Dom says, I keep saying it. I think Troy holding us over the coals, asking for picks for picks in the SAR. If that's the deal, no go. I would hate to see Trey walk away, especially if he came to the Eastern Conference. I don't want to see him 4 times, let alone our division. I want to see him 4 or 5 times. Keep him out west. Finally got to see him twice. I feel like he would be one of those guys that I ain't gonna get into it. But yeah, please no. Please let that happen. But if it's a SAR in 3 picks, if it's a SAR in 2 picks, like, nah, bro, like, no, you committed to this big 3. I think the guy that we could have used instead of a SAR, we used already, and that's Stu. That's his draft pick. You know what I'm saying? And Stu, like I said before the end, very, very end of the season, Stu was looking like a defensive player of the year candidate,
Yes.
bro.
The last 2 years.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? I think he was the guy that you could have used to kind of lure him, Trey Murphy over here.
Right.
And say, hey, here's a defensive guy. He's your guy. Give me my guy. Here's some picks.
Right. I feel that. And who knows? Maybe that was offered. Maybe that, because I was thinking the same thing. Not only Stu, but the other guy that he drafted that just got traded to Dallas.
Yeah.
Marcus Asher. I feel like those two guys could have been guys that were utilized, and maybe they were trying. Maybe that was, who knows? I'm not saying they didn't try, but I felt like that would have been what could have helped to get that done, especially if you're going to move Stu anyway. You know? So,
true.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, two more, and we'll move on. Cortez says, why y'all have confidence Trey come? I mean, because first of all, I only think there's a few teams who are really in the running for him. I think it just makes sense. I think the Pistons are one of the few teams that are in the running that have the assets. They can do it. They can. Now, I'm wondering, we talked about, I don't want to say JD priced himself out. I don't want to say that. I don't know. But I feel like Troy and Jody may price himself out. We just talked about the guys and what they went for around the league already in trade. The Giannis's, Jalen Brown's, Kawhi. Like, they didn't go for those guys. Giannis is the only guy of that whole group, including Finals MVP and Jalen Brown. Giannis is the only guy who's gone for 3 firsts. I love Trey Murphy, but he's not Giannis. So nobody bid. When they put that out there, nobody bid on that. So I'm wondering if they're going to price himself out and have to eventually come down off of 1 or 2 of those picks. Because once again, like with Jalen Brown, how do you allow him to come to camp? How do you allow him to be on your team after you've just dangled him out there for so long and he don't really seem like he want to be there anyway? It's almost like you got to move him at that point. So I think it could happen because they're going to have to come down on that offer. And I think the Pistons, I think it was one less draft pick, that deal gets done. It would have already been done. Go ahead.
And for me, I'm the opposite end. I'm less confident because from Troy Weaver, I'm like, screw the Pistons, bro. I'm not giving y'all nothing. I'm going to give it to your rival over there. How about that? That's the way y'all did me. But it's like I said, I think Boston has a better offer because they have better draft picks to offer. And if I'm Troy Weaver, I'm looking at that. You know what I'm saying? These picks are better. I'm going to go ahead and go with Boston instead. Screw the Pistons, bro. And that's in the back of my mind, that's what it is to me. You know, the way that happened, the breakup happened, what he was blamed for is like, F y'all. I'm going to give it to Boston. I'm going to give it to your rival over there. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't have the confidence. Like I said, I just feel like if it was going to happen, it should have happened by now. You have the capital. It should have happened by now.
So maybe go ahead, finish. My bad.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe this is part of it too. Don't forget about this. The Stu deal, I think, when does that go through? The 6th or the 7th of this month? A few days away.
The 6th.
That could be expanded into a bigger deal. Who knows what comes from that? Maybe that's why we haven't heard anything yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows what could happen after that period? That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see when the dust settles from that, if there is an expanded part of that deal that somehow reroutes him here. So we'll see. We'll see. But they have the ability. To answer the question that was asked by Cortez, they have the ability. There are a couple teams that do, and King mentioned the Celtics are one of them. Mm-hmm. But I think they're in the running. They're definitely in the running, and it's clear to everybody that he would be a perfect fit for this team if he came here. So if we know it, they know it. So, all right, last one, and then King will pivot. Dom comes back and says, if we being honest, if AD and Embiid or Giannis was healthy, JD wouldn't have been 13 even if he won 60.
No. I know
fair.
that.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Like I said, there's a whole lot of things to be different. You got to look at some of the guys that were out this season in general. A whole lot of things to be different. Halliburton was out this season. You know what I'm saying? Tatum. So it's Tatum out this season. There's so many things to be different. You know what I'm saying? I know that as a fan, I realize that, listen, man, circumstances helped out a lot with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And that's not to take away from what he did.
No.
But this is still valid though. What Tom is saying is still valid. And that's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're talking about some all timers. AD is a top 75 player. Embiid is one of the best big men ever. Giannis, same thing. Some people say he's the best power forward. I don't. But some people say he's in that. It's still, for me, it's still TD, Tim Duncan. But he's in the conversation. and especially if he gets another ring or two, right? So yeah, like it's JD's 22, bro. Like come on, like yeah. So I agree with you there as well. We'll leave it there, guys, and now let's move on, King, to our next topic. And let me check the poll on this before we do that. Pistons should try to trade for 63% say Trey, 32% say KD, and 5% say other. So looks like all of us are in agreement there, like we talked about. Okay, King, let's go ahead and pivot, man, and let's talk about the starting two position next season. It's something that King and I talked about earlier. We know the Pistons have a lot of guards on this team right now, like we talked about before. They have a log jam that they definitely have to address. Like we mentioned, they have 8 guards on their team right now, and that is not going to be the case by the time the season starts. So with that in mind, King, we know the Pistons are looking to make a move. But as of right now, who is your opening night starting 2 guard? Based on how the roster is currently constructed right now, no one believes it's going to look the way it does now. But based on who's here, who do you think is first, second, or third, or fourth, or first? Like, who do you have as your first or your opening night starting shooting guard?
To me, it just has to still be Duncan. It has to because
Duncan
of
Robinson.
circumstances. It has to because and this is y'all got to understand, this is the current roster the way it is right now.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter, haven't seen enough of him. Haven't seen enough. Isaiah Joe just got here, and Isaiah Joe is a backup guy. That's just what he is. So until he takes that spot, I can't give it to him. Duncan was the guy last season, so I'm going there. You need a primary ball handler coming in off the bench. I want Dennis to stay there because he's the guy that comes in to get the ball when K goes out. So I'm going to stay there with Duncan. That's just me personally.
Okay. All right. And chat, let us know what you think too. For me and King was going at it earlier. This is the tame version, which y'all getting right now. We was going at it earlier about this. For me, it's Dennis Jenkins. I feel like the biggest problem last year, one of the biggest problems last year, I won't say the biggest, one of the biggest problems. This offense had a lot of problems last year. One of the biggest problems was that Cade didn't have another ball handler on the court with him to relieve him. You were saying you didn't want to see Asar bringing it up court and stuff like that, and he needs help in that aspect. I think Dennis Jenkins helps with that as far as just getting him off ball. I do want to see Dennis be more aggressive and just going and getting the ball. It's not just being a threat out there, but just going ahead and taking it from Cade and letting him rest a play or two. But when the defense breaks down or if a closeout comes too hard, he has the ability to still make a play off of his first step, being able to get by guys and making secondary plays. We saw Duncan do that, but it was very seldom. And I feel he just doesn't have the burst to be able to make that secondary play if the closeout comes to him, unless it's just a crazy closeout, something like that. So to me, having a Dennis Jenkins on the court, who's not the shooter that Duncan Robinson is. He's not the shooter. We know that. Nobody really is on this team outside of maybe Isaiah Joe. And if you want to throw John Collins in there, maybe. But I think Dennis Jenkins just gives you so many other things outside of just shooting. I think Duncan Robinson, when his shot was off, he's not really giving you anything. And this, for me, it's tough to have a guy who really wasn't supposed to start last season anyway, and Jaden Ivey was supposed to be the starter. Duncan was supposed to be the starter. But I think that Duncan Robinson is a guy that if he's not shooting the ball, he's not helping you. And then defensively, if he was a 3-and-D guy, I can get behind it. But him just being a guy who's a sniper who can't really defend consistently, I don't think you can have a guy like that in your starting group when you're trying to be a defensive team. That's just my estimation of it. This team wants to get out and run. Too often, Duncan Robinson was having a half-court play drawn up for him because we were taking the ball out the hoop because he got hunted out and got scored on. So to me, it's like I'd rather have a guy who can at least guard defensively, at least not get hunted out every single time down the floor defensively in the playoffs. What's your take on that?
My take is totally different.
Holla at me.
Duncan doesn't have to be a defender to me. We got Asar Thompson. Asar Thompson was the second guy guarding guards for us. We've seen it. Dennis Jenkins, playoff example. Playoffs. Dennis Jenkins, get the ball, give it right back to Cade. If you're out there to be the ball handler, I need you to be the ball handler. I need you to go to Cade, get the basketball, run the offense, not find a way to get it back to Cade. Now, when it comes to if you're not open as Duncan Robinson, where do you affect the game? I felt the same way about Dennis Jenkins last season because at first, a lot of people weren't on him because they didn't know anything of him. They didn't respect him like that. End of the season, especially in the playoffs, guys started paying attention. Guys were out there on the wing when he was wide open, and they closed in on him. Changed this game a lot. So the also consistency. Dennis Jenkins is not consistent yet with his performances. Duncan is the same person every time you get on the floor. He has one job to do. He's a different type of player. Dennis is a backup point guard. Duncan is a shooter. That's a whole category in itself in the NBA. Duncan is out there to do one thing, run around, catch the ball, shoot, just like Luke Kennard, just like Isaiah Joe was for OKC. But I get it. Defensively, that's a good argument. But we have a guy in Asar Thompson who guarded guards for us an entire season and including in the playoffs. Now, here's where it's different. You have John Collins now, who's better shooting corner threes. He opens up the floor a whole lot different than Tobias Harris. So now you have a little bit more space and you have more opportunity out there for Duncan Robinson to find himself a shot. So I would get with that. And that's the only reason I say I would go with Duncan over Dennis Jenkins, because I would rather him come off the bench with the basketball until he can show that consistency of just initiating the offense, running the offense. I got to keep him on the bench as a secondary guy. Now, K may not need a second primary ball handler if we got the roster around him to help breathe things out there.
Possible.
You know what I'm saying? That's a possibility there, because the only reason he needed the help is because they were able to swamp him. Well, when you spread the floor out with Duncan Robinson, and say, for instance, you decide to play him and Isaiah Joe at the same time. You got Isaiah Joe, Duncan Robinson, and Collins all spaced out. You can't do that to Cade anymore. It changes everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
that's true.
I just look at it from that dynamic.
Offensively, I agree. But it's just not the offense for me. It's just the defense, bro. Like that's who we are. That's who we are. Like, and Asar is one guy. You're right, but Asar can't be everywhere. Like we saw whoever Asar was got. Weren't they saying that? Isn't that what the coach for Cleveland was saying? What was the game plan? To give the ball to whoever's not guarding Asar Thompson. That's what they were doing. True. Like, so if Asar's guarding D Mitch, guess who's getting hunted out by James Harden or something like that?
That's an Asar problem. Then that means you need to get Asar off the floor.
No. I'm saying, like, he was saying whoever Asar is defending, give the ball to somebody else, because he can't be everywhere.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So like he's only one guy. He can't be everywhere. And one thing I mentioned to you earlier is that, like, and I mentioned this example. I just want guys who have the ability to, when the thing they're best at isn't going well, they can still help you. I feel like Dennis Jenkins can still play solid defense. I feel like he can still distribute. He can still he's got a great assist turnover ratio. He can still get your offense organized. And I feel like I mentioned earlier, Danny Green versus Manu Ginobili. That to me is not the same thing, but from a principle standpoint, you got a Danny Green who was a great shooter, and he was a pretty good defender. He was a 3-and-D guy. And then you got a Manu Ginobili who's not nearly the shooter, but he can do everything else at a great. I'm not saying Dennis is Ginobili. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying he is able to do multiple things for you on the basketball court. And it's just like, but Danny Green ain't nowhere near Manu Ginobili as a player. And he's way more effective, because if the thing he's best at isn't going, if he wasn't shooting the ball well, he was dishing. He was, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for me, it's like I want guys who can, when you have off nights, because you're going to have them, how you still going to still contribute? They were pulling Duncan Robinson off the floor last year when the shot wasn't falling, because defensively he getting hunted out. So he can't even really offset with it.
Right, because he's just a floor spacer. He's just a shooter. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have the basketball. His job is his job. So whether the Pistons decide to start him or not, to be honest, none of them should be starting. It should be another guy here. None of them should be starting.
Guy. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But defensively, it's like, Duncan was had some matchups where he just couldn't stay in front of guys. We've known that career with Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when we played star backcourts, I felt like all of them dudes was getting fried. I feel like they still was able to do what they wanted to do. James Harden still looked like he needed to. Donovan Mitchell still looked like he needed to. Wasn't nobody stopping them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like when we playing against team who actually plays their starting front court against us and not sitting somebody out, then the situation either way is going to be tough, because none of those guys right there are stoppers to me. They'll get steals at times. They'll play in some passing lanes. That's the Pistons' identity in general.
Right.
But as far as like a lockdown guy like Asar or Ron Holland, them guys they not even close.
Nah. But I don't need them to be that close, King. I just need them to be able to not get hunted out. Like you saw them religiously
that was mainly in the playoffs
on him.
It was times during the season, even when we came on here live, it was like I was surprised at how much defense Duncan was playing today.
Yeah, he plays hard.
A certain caliber of player, it doesn't matter between those dudes. Nobody's afraid of Duncan, Kevin Huerter, Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe was getting abused because of his size.
You couldn't guard those guys in San Antonio. It's just too big.
Yeah, it's too big. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, but here's the difference. Even defensively, what you're getting as a threat and a impact player, as Duncan, as far as shooting, it impacts more to me than it does with those guys.
Okay, 2 quick things on that, and then I'll move off it. The first thing is that Dennis Jenkins was in and out of lineup all year. If we're being honest, he didn't have any consistency. How many times are we saying, how does he go from putting up 20 and pretty much 8 or 9 assists to not playing the next game? Like, the level of inconsistency he had, probably because he was on a 2-way contract at the time until late in the season, he had no consistency. I think having a full offseason with Cade, if he's going with Cade the way JD usually goes with Cade in the offseason, if they can get a chemistry together, if he can get some level of consistency, knowing he's not going to miss a game or 2 games and try to get reacclimated with the guy, like just having that consistency, I think will be huge he was a rookie last year and look what he did. So I think if he had that consistency and had the offseason to be able to play with these guys, I think that would put them in a great spot. If assuming that's, we don't get another guy. Go ahead.
No, I got a comment for you that I know you probably want to answer to. His name is Flying Smooth.
Flying smooth.
He says, I don't get the hype behind Trey Murphy. He ain't done ish. Tell me you haven't watched Pelicans basketball without telling me you haven't watched Pelicans basketball. Because him and Sadiq Bey have done a lot of ish over there. A lot of people felt like he could have been an all-star on another roster and team. These type of comments be killing me.
This is a guy that he's been in the league 5 years. How many players in the league can you say every single year that they've been in the league, from rookie to year 5, they've increased their scoring, rebounding, and assists? Every single year. No drop off in any of those categories in any of those years. Points, 15, 17, 19, 20, like rebounding, 3, 5, 7, assists, 1, 3. Like, it's just every year he's gotten better at everything on a bad team. There's no way if he's on a good team, he's not an all-star every single year. There's no way. So I'm going to leave that alone. Because I'll be here talking to midnight talking about this. But to say he hasn't done anything, you got to watch him play basketball more than, bro.
You know what those people be? Those people be doing this. Checking the stats after the game. They don't watch the game.
Come on, man. What are you talking about?
This is what they be doing.
Just scrolling. Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there, man. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to call nobody out, but come on, bro. You say something like that, man. You gotta back it up. Like, show your work on that one, bro. You can't just say stuff like that. Prove to me what you're talking about. Show your work. Yeah, okay. So we'll leave it there. Let's check the comments and the poll on this. Current shooting guard, as of right now, should be next season. Isaiah Joe at 54%, Duncan Robinson at 25%, Dennis at 15%, Kevin Huerter at 6%. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Now y'all listen close.
Get in there.
If it goes the way that I think it goes, it doesn't matter between the 4 because Ebuka Okorie is going to be on the court.
Talk about it.
Going to be on the court.
Okay.
He's going to have so much of a scoring punch, and he's going to take care of the basketball so well, you may see him be the running mate out there before the end of the season.
Is this your 60 win last year, 40 win the year before hot take? Because you ain't giving me one yet this offseason, bro.
Yeah, well, mine is a 2-part this year.
Okay.
Because there's a name that I want you guys to know. He's going to creep into the Pistons rotation. When he gets opportunities, watch out for the next Dikembe Mutombo, man.
What's his name?
What's his name, King? Listen, if you don't know his name, you're gonna, all right? You're gonna know his name. Watch out for Onyetsu, man. Onyetsu. Okay. I'm telling you, bro. This man has one job to do out there. He's the Duncan Robinson of defense. One job to do out there. Block shots, bro. So in times where we can use him, they're going to use him, bro. They put him on a 2-way. we'll get to see him in the summer league. He will be in the G League here and there, but I'm telling you, before you know it, he's gonna creep his way into that roster somewhere.
Oh yes, he can. I like that. I like that. That's kind of like, oh yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, bro. So it's funny you're saying that about Ebuka, because we both on draft night, we talked about it. We both on draft night were confused with the pick, not the talent. We were just confused on the pick based on what Trajan had previously told us he wanted out of his guards and his wings, size, that defensive versatility. So when he grabbed Ebuka, who's 6'2" at best, I was just kind of confused. But to your point, I wouldn't be surprised if he made an impact. I said it last show with Boss, because I don't think you trade up 4 spots to have him just relegated to the bench. I think if you trade up 4 spots and you use 2 second-round picks that you got back, but you use them to go get a guy because you don't think he's going to be there at 17, I think you have intentions for him to be involved. I won't say to what extent, but I think you have intention for him to be involved on that roster. This is a dude had one of the highest usages in college basketball and had a crazy assist turnover ratio, bro. You know that I'm huge. Listen, you know I'm huge on that. That's one of the things I always talk about my point guards. What's your assist turnover ratio, bro? He takes care of the basketball, bro. And also, if you're stuck in the half court because you can't get stops, then he's one of the best half court options we could have on this team. He can go get it in the half court, bro. The way he puts pressure on the rim without much help is ridiculous. It's insane. Go ahead.
And he was, and that was one of the statistics, man. When I was scouting him, he is elite at putting pressure on that rim. He was actually at the top of his class. So I might raise a couple of eyebrows, but my comparisons for him and what he can be. Obviously, you see a lot of Tyrese Maxey. Don't do the Kyrie Irving thing. Please don't do that.
No.
Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
But I see some Maxey. I see a little bit of Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? In him, the ability to
our Isaiah Thomas,
guy.
Right?
Yeah, our Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
The ability to get by a guy and stop and go and pull up. It's the quickness. Isaiah Thomas didn't have a killer crossover. He was so quick getting off the ball. Yeah. You couldn't stay in front of him. You know what I'm saying? And I seen that in him. But Maxey, Isaiah Thomas, and at the worst, like a
Colin Sexton, they were saying?
Yeah, like Colin or Kemba Walker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's
got this in-between footwork dribble that's just like it throws you off balance. It's hard to guard. He's not like, you know how you guard when you guard with a rhythm. You're watching hips, you guard. He's just all over the place, bro. Like he changes speed. Go ahead, get in there.
Marvin, I'm gonna fire on you, bro.
Oh boy, what did he say now?
I'm fire on you, Marvin.
Come on, man. Rodney Stuckey, bro. Remember he was supposed to be the next D-Wade, remember?
Yeah. Kept trying to make that man a point guard.
Yep.
Sad thing, man.
Yep. For sure. But yeah, that's a good take though on Ebuka, bro. I think he's gonna be nice, bro, for this team. It's funny, his own coach said originally somebody asked him who he thought he reminded him of, and he at first when he first got there, he was kind of like, I see some Colin Sexton to his game. After a few games, he was like, nah, he's gonna be better than him. You can go find the interview, guys. He said, I see Tyrese Maxey. I see Tyrese Maxey to his game. So yeah, he's a really good player. I think he was slept on. I think if he was 6'5", he goes top 5. At least top 7. You know what I'm saying? I think he looking at the height, and they were like, So yeah, we'll see. But he's got a lot of talent. Go ahead.
If you didn't know, you gotta know, because my guy, he whooped everybody's ass in this draft. From Boozer, the Boozer brothers, even our guy Ebuka, man, he was out there whooping ass, bro.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. Oh, you need to go watch it.
Oh,
you know they both ACC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was going for some games. I was doing some deep looking, man, against some of the top players in this draft, bro. Uganda was changing the basketball. When they went up against Duke should have won that game.
Yep.
But in that second half, when Uganda got in and he started to get the minutes, that game changed immediately.
Didn't he have 9 blocks in that game? Like it was like how Stu had 8 blocks against Orlando. It was like some craziness.
Majority of them came in the second half, bro.
Against
when he got on the floor against Boozer.
Exactly. That was a steal, I think, bro. in the second round with a 53rd pick, I think. That was a great pick. So okay. So I'm gonna roll with that. I do think Ugana's he's gonna be a two-way guy this year. He's gonna be the Cruz probably for most of the season, get acclimated, all that stuff. But a couple years from now, I think he could play maybe even next year. I think he could play a role, a bigger role for this team for sure. Yeah, exactly, Hallian, for sure. So okay, all right, guys. We talked about we didn't talk about Isaiah Joe and Huerter a lot. Yeah, Isaiah Joe, I think that's a really good signing. I think, bro.
Really good signing.
Got really good signing for $11 million a year to have a champion on your team. We got Duncan Robinson is a veteran. He's a veteran. Been to 2 finals, but I think it's something to be said about winning it. Knowing what it takes to win. I'm not saying he was important to Shea, nothing like that, but he was on that team. He went through the season and through the trenches in the playoffs with that team. He knows what it takes to get it done. And I think playing with a Cade, and he's still growing. And playing with Cade, who's not identical to Shea, but there's a lot of similarities there. He will fit in like a glove with him, like a glove, because he's gonna get the ball more. Because Cade's a more willing passer and a better passer than Shea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he will fit like a glove with him. And defensively, he gives you more of that capability. He ain't a clamp. You talked about the Spurs, and most teams can't guard them because they just got a bunch of 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys across the board. And then they got the alien. So
and that's what I was saying with the Pistons. If you get Trey Murphy, even if you get KD, look how big that lineup is, bro.
KD's the shortest guy.
Like what at 6'7", 6'8", bro? Like, come on.
Yeah, you got KD 6'6",
shortest guy.
If you want to say SR your 2,
with shoes, I give him 6'7" with shoes.
Yeah, well, he's 6'8" with the hair, with the fro. He's 6'7" when they got the braids. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, you got KD 6'7". You got Asar at the 2. If you want to put him at the 2, he's 6'7". And you got Trey if he comes at 6'8". John Collins 6'9", 6'10", and then JD is 6'10" as well. Cade is the shortest dude. And Cade is not a frail 6'6". Like he's a tank. So
solid. Good
luck scoring.
Yeah.
You can switch everything.
Yeah, a rough day for you.
Yes.
A rough day for you. And I say we matched up well with New York before, but we will really match up well with New York.
You mentioned
really
that too.
Matched up well.
You mentioned that too, because when we lost Stu, I was concerned. I ain't gonna lie. I was concerned because Cat was afraid of that dog. It's not too many guys in this league who make Cat look the way Isaiah Stewart makes Cat look. Man, we saw Cat skipping games against the Pistons because Stu was playing.
It's like, Stu and Drummond always do that to him, bro. I don't understand that. Certain players that Cat just have issues with. And Stewart, man, he wants no part of Stewart.
Nope.
Brunson don't want to deal with Asar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
get this dude off.
Tim Hardaway Sr. came on this show and said Cat is scared of Isaiah Stewart.
Man, he is. It's obvious.
He's in the know. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. Like it's a matchup nightmare. Now, granted, talking about the Knicks, the Knicks we saw in the regular season was not the Knicks we saw in the playoffs. They were a better team. They were better team. I hate the Knicks. I respect them. I respect them. They won.
We still was right there, though. Right there.
If we get past Game 7 against the Cavs, and that's why it's so weird they lost by how many points they lost by in the Game 7. But if we get past them, it ain't no telling what happens in that series with the Knicks. Considering the reasons you just mentioned, considering the fact that even though they were a better team, you're peaking at the right time, the matchups are still the matchups. Like Asar, I'm sure, has been studying film of him guarding him last year a lot.
Yeah, because we were right there.
You see what I'm saying?
That don't leave you, man. That stays there. And that's why they got the ass whoopings they got during the season. That stays there, bro. We were right there. And if we had Stu, y'all was toast.
Yeah. So I was concerned. To give the Knicks credit, they did their part. They got there. They was waiting for us. We didn't get there. So I give them credit for that. But that would have been a tough matchup for them, bro. They have nobody to guard Cade. The way we saw OG being able to slow down guys in the Spurs, like, nah, they have nobody for Cade. OG can't guard Cade Cunningham, bro.
It wasn't working.
Mikal Bridges gets bullied by Cade Cunningham, bro. They have nobody to guard that man. So and then you got man, I don't know. So I do like the John Collins signing. I don't think he can guard Cat the way Stu can. I'm not saying that at all, but I think he can guard him. Like Tobias Harris, for all he gave everything he could, and he deserves a lot of. I gave him a lot of credit on the last show that we did because he was great for this team, right? Great for this team. just helping his team grow and on the court as well. Step it up in game 7. We don't get past that first round without Tobias Harris, right? So, but you can't teach height. You can't teach strength and size. And I think John Collins has more of that to help him to be able to guard. And he's quick of foot enough to be able to stay in front. Like even guys like Wemby was getting blown by Cat in the finals. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to, you got to be strong enough and you got to be able to move your feet. Stu had that unique build to be able to do both. You know what I'm saying? So I think John Collins isn't that, but I think he can do a much better job at the 4 spot, at the starting 4 spot than what we had the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Every player got that antidote, man. You know what I'm saying? And for Brunson is Cade. You know what I'm saying? Cade eyes light up when he see New York, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The same thing for what we was talking about with Stu and Cat, man. It's just like Cat wants no problems with Stu. It is literally a cat and dog situation, man, because
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And like I said, if we could just have Duren to be who we supposed to be, Mr. I want all this money, man, that changes everything. You know what I'm saying? If you become the best center in the East, like you want to be paid to be the best center in the East, Duren, then that changes everything for your team.
Yeah, 100%.
But you got
100%.
guys like Hartenstein out here making way less than you, and you want more money than him.
You
don't even offer more than him.
Right. So Walker Kessler, I think JD's better than Walker Kessler, but he went for $32 million.
Yeah.
So I think, you know what I'm saying? So it's like 50 is like, come on, bro. Come on, man. If that's the case, if that's what they were asking for, like the 50 million AAV, like, nah, bro. So we talked about that already. But once again, my point was just that I was worried about Stu leaving for that very reason, because that's who we're chasing now. We're chasing them now. The Knicks are who we're chasing. You said what?
Stu, I think Stu wanted to go behind scenes. I think
you think so?
Yeah.
You were saying you saw. Go ahead.
The way he was yelling on that bench was like, "Why are you taking me out the game, bro? For this dude? This dude ain't giving you nothing. You keep taking me out the game. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing, dog?" And me personally, the way that Duren played, like I said, during that time, you can't argue with me and tell me that Duren is better than Stu on the floor. Why? Because Stu can actually stop somebody. He rebounds the basketball better than you. He actually blocks shots while he's out there. He can stretch the basketball floor. It's kind of hard to argue why you played during so many minutes you did. I know we know because you were being evaluated, but fine. But Stu is not getting paid nowhere near him, and he offers you more than him. And then you don't want to play him? If I was Ron Hollins, I'd have been chipping my wagon to Stu like, let's both go.
Man, come on, bro. That's facts, bro. That's facts, man. I mean, the difference, like, Stu is just much more polished. He's just a much more polished basketball player than JD. I think JD has more natural gifts.
Get there. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. That's the problem right there, dudes. JD has natural physical gifts.
Yeah.
Stu had to work to get there.
Yeah.
Stu could not block shots like that when he first got here. He couldn't get off the floor.
We be at games like, man.
But he spent the whole summer box jumping.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Doing box jumps, working on that, his explosiveness, his timing, getting with Ben Wallace, doing all the things he needed to do. He worked for it.
Yep. 100%. 100%, man. So, so we'll see. Maybe, it's just a growing process for him. But all your points are valid, bro. A couple more super chats, man, and we can call it a night, Brody. Let's go to Dom. Dom comes back and says, being fair, if Asar, Duren, and Ron can all get better, what can't Danis do? Or why can't Danis too? Can learn from what it was like playing with the big dogs in the playoffs, but as we are right now, I want Joe to start over both. Okay, take off, King. Thoughts on that, bro?
Well, see, you got a good point. Danis could. But we just had our GM go in press conference say we trying to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. If he could, he could. That's great. But right now, we ain't in the land of could no more. We ain't in evaluation land no more. We're not in any of those lands anymore. Right now, go and get somebody that can do it at the moment. If he can get there, that's better for our team.
Right.
But right now, those guys ain't there. Isaiah Joe can get better. Huerter can return to who he was.
Yeah. Huerter's another guy.
He can return to who he was.
Right.
Over these last couple of years, then that changes things.
Yeah.
But we're out the land of what if. You know what I'm saying? But you got a great point, Damo. You do. You really do.
Yeah.
Guys can improve.
And to be fair, like if we're saying that Ron has shown enough to get more opportunity, Dennis has also shown enough to get more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a bigger jump than Ron. You know, part of it was because of what you're saying. It's because like he caught a lot of teams off guard, right? The scouting report for him was not there because they didn't know who he was. You know, so that's a fair point. But I'm with Dom though. I'm with Dom. Like, there's no reason to think that he, with a full off season, bro, that he can't. And once again, we still think that guy is going to come, hopefully, in the offseason, and we ain't got to worry about it, right? But I just think he has the capability, if we need him to be able to do that. But then he says he wants Joe to start over both of them. So, Dom, let me know why you feel you want to see Isaiah Joe over both of them. Now, here's my thought on that. And then, King, if you want to weigh in, you can too. I felt like Danis was the happy medium between guys who can handle the ball and still give you the defense. I don't really feel like Isaiah Joe can do that. I don't feel like Duncan Robinson can do that. You know, which is why I was thinking he's the guy that, because you know how I am. I want guys who are multifaceted. What can you do if that's not going? I don't know if Isaiah Joe is the guy who can put the ball on the floor as a secondary creator and go get you a shot. I know he's more athletic. I know he's just as good of a shooter, or close to it at least, as Duncan Robinson, right? He's got the size. He's a champion. So that's working for you. But I don't know if he can bring that secondary creation like I feel like Danis Jenkins can as a point guard who can still score. I feel like Joe is a really good shooter who's an upgraded defender. Like, for me, I would start Joe over Duncan for sure, because he's a champ, he's experienced, and he brings a little bit more defense than Duncan Robinson, and there's no three-point shooting drop-off. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I would start Joe over Duncan. Go ahead.
Here's my thing, and this is what I ended me and Deuce and our group chats conversation with.
Yeah.
The fact that we even have to have this conversation is not good look. We should not be having a conversation like this at all if we're talking about being in contention to get to the pinnacle. This shouldn't be a conversation. We should have that guy. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a conversation. Duren, Isaiah Joe, all of those dudes should be on the bench as our reserves and coming in and giving us firepower. This shouldn't even be a conversation, dog.
Yeah.
So Trey, we know Trajan got something up his sleeve.
We waiting on it,
bro. We got to go get it, dog.
We waiting on it.
We can't have these conversations no more. Last year that was cool. This year, nah.
Yeah.
If he means what he said, nah.
Yeah, that's true. That's valid. Dot, what's up, bro? Says we come a long way. Pistons Nation, appreciate you, bro. Last guy, King. We'll get out of here. We talked about earlier, guys. What you got to chime in too? Kevin Huerter, right? We talked about him earlier. And we were on the opposite side of the spectrum, as we always are, King, for the most part, when it comes to a lot of these guys. Give me your thoughts on Kevin Huerter, because we had a conversation. So one thing I said, just for context, guys, you guys have heard me say before, there were points in the season last year where I felt like I would have wanted to see Kevin Huerter start alongside Cade Cunningham instead of Duncan Robinson. I know he's not the shooter, but that was what I was. So I'll elaborate on why I felt that way. But King, give me your thoughts on that, bro.
I always have my little rules or whatever. One of my little rules is who you're going up against, who you playing against. You know what I'm saying? In the sample size that I seen Kevin Huerter out there and what he did, he made some plays defensively, pretty good defensive plays. But then I'll factor in who we playing right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's just like, okay, you should be doing that. We should be doing that to them. We doing it as a team. He ain't the only one out here getting steals.
Right.
So for me, defensively, he is good. Kevin Huerter is known to be somebody to give you a scoring punch, and as a shooter also. He just hasn't been that like he was. And I just want to see him get back to who he was as a shooter. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, somebody to mess with his jump shot. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's been a drop-off for sure. Yeah.
When he knocks them shots down, he changes everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's like your little poor man's Austin Reeves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knock them shots down,
remind me of DiVincenzo a little bit, like the way he plays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, but if he get that consistency back, man, if he can stay on the floor with these injuries he's been dealing with,
right?
Stay on the floor also. that changes a lot of my perspective. From I haven't
Okay.
seen enough
I
to
got
say
you.
he's good enough to this or he's not good enough to that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. My reason, guys, for wanting Kevin Huerter, and I was just saying, just see how I wasn't saying like he got. I was just saying like just see how it looks, because the things I was seeing off the bench was like, okay. I wasn't seeing him getting hunted out defensively. Like he guards. I think he's a very underrated perimeter defender. He plays angles well. He moves his feet well. He's got good size. So I think he's 6'5", 6'6". The shooting has to improve, 100%. Right? Yeah. Like if we get Sack Huerter or Atlanta Huerter, game, run it. Right? In that situation, like from last year. But he does a lot of little things very well. And once again, I felt that way about him despite the shooting. Like I know we have the expectation. He's got the title of what he's supposed to be. I don't care about that. Like, what are you doing on the court, bro? Like, if you're supposed to be a shooter, whatever. If you're not, whatever. Like, what are you doing on the court? How are you impacting the game aside from the titles and expectations? How are you impacting the game? And I'll just see so often, bro. Like one game, he had 5 assists and no turnovers in like 12 minutes. He wasn't shooting great, but he was still finding ways. Defensively, he wasn't relenting at all. He was getting stops, getting steals, playing passing lanes, just playing smart defense. Where when you can't see the ball and your hand goes out, steal just because he put his hand out there. That kind of like he just knows how to play defense. And offensively, he's a great mover. He makes the right pass. He just makes the right play. He plays like a robot. Like he just makes the right play. Whatever the right play is, I'm gonna make that play. And he sees the floor. So like for me, it was like the shooting, no brainer. Dunk was the best shooter by far on the team last year. But the other things that he does for you when the shot's not falling, unlike Duncan, can keep him on the court. You know what I'm saying? So that was my only reason for like, okay, so that's why when we got it for $9 million a year, I'm like, bet $9 million for that if the 3-point percent can improve and if he can stay healthy. If those two things happen, I think that's a good signing. Go ahead.
He's very intelligent, and that's one of the things that I know that Trey Langdon values is intelligent basketball player. For instance, the draft speaks for itself. Yagana's very intelligent on the defensive side of the basketball. But Ebuka is very intelligent on the offensive side of the basketball. That's that Spurs mentality that I was talking about.
Right.
But my thing is, when it comes to Huerter, if you knock down those shots, I think there's no conversation whatsoever if you can be on the court at any point, at any time because of what you offer. You can guard guys out there at the 3-point line. You're not a moving cone out there. If you become a shooter, you have just as much. I mean, not become a shooter, become the shooter you were. Right. You have just as much of an argument to say, I should be starting over Duncan than anybody else on this team.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good point. That's the interesting way of looking at it. I like that. Okay. Guys, we are going on 2 hours, man. We're gonna get one more super chat and then we are out of here, man. Let's go to Dom. Last super chat says, so I'm not misunderstood. The Dana's comment was about the current roster. I also want another scorer. Right. But Joe, because he's in between the two. Okay. Better ball handler than you think. Okay. I gotta watch more film then, bro. Okay. See, that's not something I was really privy to. I gotta do my homework. Shooting like Duncan and some defense of Danis. Okay, so you think he has a combination. So the combination I was looking for in Danis is kind of what you're seeing with Joe plus the shooting. It's kind of what I guess he's saying. Because I was concerned about that. Like just having a guy at the 2 who can shoot like Dunk, but just be able to do something else too. So if Joe can do that for you and give you more defense, I never saw him as a guy who can play make. I never really saw him as that guy. But I haven't watched a ton of film on him. So that's on my list now, Dom. So maybe you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. Go ahead, King.
It's you're gonna see him. He's gonna have certain opportunities out there. It's more of the way that offense was structured over there with the with the Thunder, but you will be able to see that he has that ability to do that. And if the Pistons ask him to do that, then that's probably opening up a whole different ball game to what we used to seeing from him. Because like I said, his only issue is bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? He has trouble with those lengthy dudes, man.
Yeah.
Pause.
And like they're big too, pause. Like they're tall, but they're strong. They're strong guys. Castle and Vassell and Harper, Fox. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's just my point. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's my point right there.
Okay, guys. We are going to end it there, man. Kenyatta said y'all should do another hour. Come on. We got families out here, man. You got stuff to do.
Almost got blew away in the storm earlier, man. I'm about to go chill out
So
somewhere.
when I had to leave and come back, my lights flickered. But
Whew.
yeah, but you know, it worked out for your boy tonight. So we was able to get through the show with no incident. So we appreciate you guys for sure for that, man. So guys, we are going to y'all comments are hilarious, bro, for sure. So guys, we're going to end it there, man. King, I appreciate you as always, bro, pulling back up to the show, man, and giving us some great conversation and things like that as always. Guys, make sure you are following King on all platforms. You can find him on IG. I am King77. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube, Everything King. Same thing with Twitter or X, Everything King. Make sure y'all are tapped in. Anything else you want to get to, King, before we got here, bro? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, make sure you guys check out my page on Facebook too. I've been posting like crazy on Facebook.
Okay.
So
Is it the same name?
You know, all
Everything
of the signings and everything from free agency, everything. I post everything in groups on there, but I post it on my page also. So make sure you follow me on Facebook.
Okay. Is it your name or is it Everything King?
No, it's the same. Everything King.
Everything same. Okay. All right. Bet it up. Make sure y'all check him out, man, for sure. All right, guys. We are ended there, man. We appreciate you guys, as always, for showing up, showing out tonight, as you guys always do. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the Downtown Deuce show if you are new. And most importantly, guys, we mentioned at the top of the show, make sure more than anything else this weekend that you guys are being safe. You know, it's crazy right now, but if you guys are going to go out, you know, for the holiday, July 4th tomorrow, all that stuff, make sure you guys are being safe, man. Turn up, have fun, but make sure wherever you're going, you get back home. All right? So hope you guys have a great night, man. And you guys know the drill. Detroit versus everybody.
Get Karis off my team.
And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the low. I gotta face it. I got no time to waste it.